Go. Pawn Talk Live, hosted by the voice of the Las Vegas Wranglers, Dave Carney, and the owner of the world-famous Max Pawn in Las Vegas, Michael Mack. Call in at 257-5396. That's 257-5396, and find out what your valuables are worth from the top expert in the pawn industry. Now, Michael Mack and Dave Carney.
And welcome to Pawn Talk Live here on News Talk 720 KDWN. Dave Carney, Michael Mack, Chad Forster, the gang's all here. Staying with you here from Live Las Vegas. Great show, by the way. Live Las Vegas today. Thanks so much for the participation from our listeners and our phone callers. Congratulations to Joe and also to James for winning those prizes. James had a great point here, guys, if you were listening to us an hour ago on the Fort Hood shootings. And that's actually what we're going to start off with right now in our gun vault.
Home protection can be a great investment. Welcome to the Gun Vault.
All right, Michael, so here we are in our gun vault, and we played the little sound, the imaging. Generally, we take a little bit a lighter look, but today we've got a serious topic to discuss. The Fort Hood shootings now, like Chad mentioned, 4 people dead, 16 people injured in this fiasco. Lends us, a lot of questions more than it does answers. But what can people do, in your estimation, Michael, to make sure that they are keeping their firearms as absolutely safe as possible?
Well, I think that we need to do one thing. We'll put our firearms where most people do, in a safe spot. But I think the second issue here is we need to lock up our prescription drugs.
Yeah, no kidding. You're right.
We're talking about something completely different here. I mean, we have people that are using prescription drugs wrong, being prescribed drugs wrong, and then firearms somehow get in the mix. And it's been going on for the last couple of years, and we've had some tremendous tragedies. And our heart goes out to those that have been lost. They're kids. These are kids, and these kids that are coming back from war. They're not being treated by our healthcare providers in the right manner. And so we're talking about guns. It's not guns. It's taking care of people that need help. Mental health issue is very serious.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And Chad, you brought that up, and James, the Army medic that actually called us in here on Live Las Vegas, pretty much echoed your exact sentiments. But you happen to be somebody who has, been familiarized with firearms throughout your life. You know about keeping them safe, though, as well, Chad. Now, we obviously have to take into issue the mental health concerns, but firearms on their own, if not handled properly, can be just as dangerous. So tell us a little bit about, safety measures that you would think could go into place.
Well, I think the biggest safety measure is just education, number one. So it's just not about, having a gun. It's knowing how to use the gun, know how to clean the gun, know how to fire the gun, know how to, put your gun away, know how to put it, in someplace safe. Obviously, a gun safe's number one. I have a gun safe. I use a gun safe. I know the combination. Nobody else does. When I'm not utilizing the gun safe is locked, and I think that's probably a good policy that most people should utilize.
Dave, we've talked about it week in, week out, about having guns in areas where maybe they shouldn't be. You may be moving into a new area, a new neighborhood. You don't know your neighbors. You don't know the children of the neighbors. You have new young children. You're blending a family. You're bringing new kids into your home. It's not safe to keep guns out anymore, so gun safe is definitely recommended. But at Max Pawn, we do offer a free service. You can come down and store your guns with Max Pawn, and a lot of gun enthusiasts are doing this. They're going out, they're shooting, and then they're coming in and they're storing their guns with us and in a safe environment. So, there are places that provide that service. It's not safe, and people, I think everything has been over-dramatized with video games and, shoot-'em-up videos and Call of Duty, and there's no sensitivity to what these firearms do anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Chad, you and I were talking about that very same thing earlier today, actually. The video game industry, we talk a lot about movies and music, but the video game industry is so specific and interesting to this whole conversation because, as you had noted, the video games, especially Call of Duties, the active warfare ones, were designed and implemented by the armies first. This was something that was done from a military standpoint.
Yeah, well, what they found is they did studies over, all these wars that we've had over thousands of years, or recently in the last 100 years, let's say. The majority of the soldiers didn't pull the trigger. It was like 10 or 15%, something along those lines. Because most people, when they face another human being, they realize that it's bigger than just pulling the trigger. There's more to it. There's consequences to it. So they needed to figure out a way to get people to pull the trigger more. So they came up with first-person shooter games, and it pretty much simulates this, desensitizes paralyzes you. And when you get in the actual situation, your mind, your subconscious has a hard time differentiating between real and fake. In all honesty, and that's basically how this works. Not to mention, when you're in video games, like when you're watching television, it brings you to a certain level, an alpha state. When you're actually on a video game, it takes you a theta state. It actually can, it brainwashes you, basically. And unless you're aware of that, unless you're conscious of that, it's very, very dangerous. You could play thousands of hours of Black Ops or whatever the situation may be, and who knows what that will do, especially if you're not already, mentally stable.
Maybe you're already taking a couple of prescriptions. Maybe you've done a couple of tours in Iraq. Not a good combination.
No.
But I do have to tell you that MaxPod has a great deal on Xbox 360s and probably even Call of Duty
Nice
down there.
work.
So if you want to get down to the corner of Sahara and Jones and pick one of those things up.
We can feed both vices. Come on.
Listen, I'm not telling you what to do with your life. I'm just telling you these things are available, okay?
Well, with that said, I play video games.
Yeah,
Don't get me
me too.
wrong, and I enjoy them. Again, as long as you know consciously what you're getting yourself into, and you're aware of that, I think it's a different situation than
Absolutely.
if you don't know.
Well, I seen a new handgun in a handgun magazine recently, and it's biometrics. So now they have guns out, which I think is a great idea. The triggers will be biometrics. It'll look at your fingerprint, and it won't allow that gun to be shot unless that fingerprint's matched up. Now that's gun safety.
Do you think the gun lobby? Let's be honest. Do you think that
They're
Wayne
gonna hate
LaPierre and the NRA and the entire gun lobby that it represents a multi-billion-dollar industry, right, is going to let that happen?
They hate it. They hate it.
Well, if it's legislative, I have a problem with it being legislative. I think the option to have it for somebody that's like,
that's
hey,
true. Good
I'm
idea.
a father, I have children, I want to protect my family, but at the same time, I don't want my 12-year-old daughter to stumble upon the gun or whatever the situation may be. And that's a place. There's a time and place for everything. I just don't like when these government bigwigs in Washington that never even handled a gun before are writing up all these laws and they don't even know what the consequences to that is. So I think that's where they'd have the beef. I think the average person would love that feature if they're the ones that decided to have that feature on their gun.
Yeah, it's obvious the government bigwigs don't know what to do with their guns. Dick Cheney goes out, shoots his friend in the face. No offense, Dick, but come on, man. What are you doing out there? You guys are wearing big, bright orange vests. Give me a
Caged
break.
quails. There's not even a hunt to it. They pull up in a car, they get out, and they shoot these dead. It's ridiculous.
The gun lobbyists that would be upset as much as the gun safe lobbyists.
Yeah, the gun safe lobbyists. Well, you bring up a good point too. Gun safes are expensive though, and that's why what you can do if you don't have a big arsenal where you've already invested in a multi-$1,000 gun safe, which is about what they are, you can take them down for free to MaxPawn. Now, we did hear the voice of Michael Schulman, who we are going to be talking to in our next segment here. We have got a great fashion report for you guys today. But, Michael, we're going to be giving away some more stuff throughout this show. Right now, we have 2 more tickets to the Las Vegas 51's home game tonight against the Fresno Grizzlies. These are field seats, guys, field seats. Joe was our winner in Live Las Vegas, and now you can be the winner here in Pawn Talk Live. All you have to do is give us a call, 257-5396, 257-5396. The next caller gets 2 tickets to the Las Vegas 51's home game. Now, we are only a couple of minutes outside of our first look here at traffic in Pawn Talk Live, guys, but staying with the theme here of gun safety and all this stuff, Michael, you've obviously been around guns for a long time as a pawnbroker. You've seen the business come and go with how that relates to guns, but you can also sell firearms. You're one of the trusted firearm dealers. Tell us how that is.
Dave, there's very few pawn shops in Southern Nevada that actually sells and takes firearms in for pawn. In Max Pawn, we happen to do both. And we have a very safe environment for your firearms when we do take them in pawn. One thing about firearms is they hold value. So if you're looking to get a loan on something, they hold great value and you get good money for them, and they're in a safe environment. If you're looking to buy something, we don't sell them per se in the showcases. You may ask one of our associates what we have in stock, but you can look online. You go to maxpawnlv.com, and you can look at all the firearms that we have for sale, and we sell those online in an auction format.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's one of the cool options about working with MaxPawn is the fact that you guys are able to do things just a little bit differently than a lot of the other pawn stores here, especially in Las Vegas. Now, you can buy and sell antique firearms, correct? Those things can come in over the counter. You can sell those a little bit differently, right? So we don't have to buy those online.
If they're over a certain age, then they're okay to trade. But if they're under a certain age, you have to have a federal firearm license.
All right, cool. Well, Michael, we do have a winner here on the line with us, Pawn Talk Live, giving away 2 tickets, Field Pass tickets, to the Las Vegas 51's home game tonight against the Fresno Grizzlies. Only the second game of the season, guys. Just opened up last night. We've got Eric on the line with us. Eric, congratulations. You won the 2 tickets. How are you, bud?
That's awesome. Thanks very much. Doing great.
It's our pleasure. So, Eric, is this the first time you've tuned in to Pawn Talk Live, or are you one of our regular listeners?
No, this is the first time, actually.
Well, congratulations. You're a big winner. Now, Chad, I know you got the question asked of Joe in the first show here in Live Las Vegas, but Eric, are you a fan of the team? Do you go out to these games?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Love baseball.
Awesome. Well, you got some great seats tonight, great weather. Enjoy the game. And listen again to Pawn Talk Live. Yeah, you're going to have to come down here to the studio, Eric, 2920 South Durango. That is near the corner of Sahara and Durango. So 2920 Durango. The Beasley Broadcast Building can't be missed. Big towers, all this stuff.
Okay, great. We'll be there.
All right, thanks so much. All right, and we are going to have to step aside, guys, also, and take our first look at traffic here on Pawn Talk Live. When we come back, we have got the fashion report with the man who knows all about fashion and then some, Michael Shulman. Looking so good today.
Enter 216 at the Kid on Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center. This report brought to you by the Las Vegas RV Show and Sale this weekend at the Meadows Mall. 15 north past the Spaghetti Bowl. You're starting to see some slowing there. Also 15 south. 95 northbound, the eastern on-ramp. Buffalo at Cheyenne, Rainbow at Vegas Drive, and a hit and run Las Vegas Boulevard at Tropicana. For the Kid on Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
The Las Vegas RV Show and Sale ends Sunday.
See more than 100 RVs with something for every lifestyle and budget.
Plus, enjoy low RV show prices.
No reasonable offer refused.
It's the Las Vegas RV Show and Sale at the Meadows Mall, just off US 95.
This is Tisha Black, and I'm a real estate attorney in Las Vegas with the law offices of Black & LaBello. If you've short sold a property in the last year and haven't thought about the tax consequences or have questions related to real property, tune in to my show every Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. at KDWN AM 720.
The mission of Vegas Shepherd Rescue is to provide lost, unwanted, and homeless German Shepherds a safe and loving environment. Their love and passion for German Shepherds drives them to do what is best, to treat each dog as if it were a member of their family and act in their best interest. Their goal is to answer the question, what can I do today to make a difference to help this dog? What can you do? Adopt, foster, volunteer, and donate today at VegasShepherdRescue.com.
Spring is the time of new beginnings. Do you have the new job you need? Find that new job at the LasVegasJobs.com job fair Thursday, April 10th at the Texas Station from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is your opportunity to meet with dozens of employers that have hundreds of real jobs available. Be sure to dress for success, bring lots of resumes, and be ready to apply for your new job. You can go to LasVegasJobs.com now to print your VIP pass. Find your new job Thursday, April 10th at the Texas Station from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go to LasVegasJobs.com for more information.
Hi, this is Michael Mack, owner of world-famous Max Pawn in Las Vegas. You ever wondered what those valuables are worth? Had a pawn question but didn't know who to ask? I have the solution for you. Join me and Dave Carney every Friday from 2 to 3 for Pawn Talk Live here on News Radio 720 KDWN.
Now back to Pawn Talk Live with your hosts Michael Mack and Dave Carney.
All right, welcome back to Pawn Talk Live here on News Talk 720 KDWN. Dave Carney joined by Michael Mack, owner of the world-famous Max Pawn. Chad Forster, our new co-host. And in this segment, our entertainment and fashion specialist, Michael Shulman. Now, we're going to jump right in here, guys, into our fashion report.
Now, for our expert look into all things luxury and fashion, this is the Max Lux Luxury and Fashion Report.
All right, Max Lux Luxury and Fashion Report, brought to you, of course, by Max Pawn and the great luxury values they have. Check it out online, maxpawnlv.com. Michael Shulman from shulmansays.com. Thanks so much for being back in the studio with us here, buddy. How are you?
I am well. Thanks so much for having me back.
Well, it is our pleasure. We realize that this is still in the crack of dawn for you, the early morn.
It's the crack of something.
It is the crack of something, isn't it? Well, we're hoping to crack open a little bit of fashion here and find out what it is that's going on in the fashion world this week.
Fashion fluidity, fashion flexibility. There's a lot of tailored androgynous looks that are going back and forth. Pajamas for formal occasions. Now, when I say pajamas, I don't mean pajamas that you buy in a pack at Walmart.
You mean for like those sexy pajama parties, don't you?
I mean,
I'm with that.
Designers like Alexander McQueen and Louis Vuitton and Lanvin are making $4,000 pairs of pajamas that are meant to be worn with high heels and jewelry, or
could I wear them without high heels?
Or for men without.
Right on.
A nice boot.
A nice boot, he says. What about that's awesome. I could get some booty with that.
Something I think that we could do. Let's have a pajama sale.
Oh, boy.
You wear a pajama top, you get half off.
Wow.
If you wear a
top,
okay. It's all off.
I was thinking pond pajamas. I don't think I would.
Half off. It's half
I don't know
off.
about that one.
You know, pond pajamas could get you into kind of an interesting DNA situation.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could
we
find
wear jerseys on Sundays.
Yeah,
Why don't we wear a pajama top?
Well,
I love it.
Pajama tops just seem a little bit closer to you. Now, I will.
I wear flannel.
Camisole Thursdays.
I will caution you against inviting everybody in pajamas because that could turn into.
That'll happen.
Walmart is very good.
I was going to say that could turn into a much different situation. But so, Michael Shulman, you say that these pajamas, $4,000. Obviously, these are not for people that are going to be slouching around on their couches. So, are pajamas
It's really for people who don't even sit on their couches.
Exactly, right?
They have people for that.
They have people.
No sitting allowed. Another huge trend that a lot of the upscale jewelers are doing is the renaissance, as it were, of gold. Now, by gold, I mean what a lot of people refer to as yellow gold. Of course, it's gold. That's how it comes in the earth. It doesn't actually come in white, yellow, pink, etc. It comes gold, like the color you see in your crayon box.
Aha! Now it all starts to make sense to me. That
everything
gold.
else is done with rhodium and nickel, and
sure.
that's their treatments. But underneath, if you flake it all away, it's
gold. Right. Kind of like white chocolate.
Yes. And yellow gold, or gold, is making a huge comeback with Bertolucci and Damiani and Cartier and Bulgari, and designers of that ilk set the trends that are passed along to the boutique designers and so on and so forth. There's a warmth that comes from gold that you don't get when it's rhodium dipped in white, etc. That it's got a historic quality to it. It's got a warmth to it, and a bit of confusion. Do you want to comment on trends that you've
I'll tell
seen?
you what, Michael. We've been saying it for the last year and a half. We've been seeing a resurgence in gold. They say everything comes around, in cycles, and of course, everything in fashion seems to do that with the twist because they can't bring back the same exact look. But yellow gold has been strong. Two tones are coming back stronger, white and yellow, because people can mix the two. And you can wear silver with your white gold as well. But I'm looking forward to the JCK show, which is the biggest jewelry.
Couture.
Yes, and Couture. Best jewelry store in the show in the world here in Las Vegas. We're very fortunate to see some of the new yellow gold styles that'll be out this year.
So when is the JCK show, Michael?
Well, it's
I know
actually a week.
So it's a week. When is it?
That's on May 29th
to
June 3rd, I believe. And then June 2nd until June 5th at JCK. Couture is always at the Wynn Las Vegas. It takes up all of their ballrooms, and it's
fabulous,
mind-blowing. It is the very best of the best, and so the suites are taken by David Yurman, Roberto Clan, Hearts on Fire, Kwiat, Fred Layton, Bulgari, etc., and then the villas on the Fairway Villas and the conference rooms. JCK is at Mandalay Bay Event Center again this year.
That's right.
And it really does become the best jewelry store in the world. That event center is nuts, and you have probably Scott K is the most prestigious of the brands. You have their Le'Veon, Oscar Heyman, but Scott K really steals the show over there.
Wow.
They moved from Couture to JCK last year, and JCK really wanted them exhibiting over there.
Let me ask you, Michael, being a resale guy, pre-owned guy, have you ever participated in any of the antique events that happen now around JCK? We have some fabulous antique jewelry shows that are 2 days prior and 2 days after. And if you're
it's kind of like the World Series of Poker. You get these great satellite events for people that aren't even interested in the main action.
Because I know you like period pieces. I have
the
tickets.
ASD-SM show was just here.
That's right.
And that is twice a year, and I go to that every time.
Well, if you like that, you're going to love the antique show that comes to Vegas right before JCK.
It just sounds like a fantastic.
Sounds like a day.
I was going to say it sounds like a fantastic season. Actually, I mean, it's not a day or a week; it's almost like a full season. Right. And Michael, I've got to imagine that's when you get really busy doing a lot of writing. So we've obviously got Michael Shulman with ShulmanSays.com, your website. is really the home for, a lot of late-breaking fashion news. You've got a huge following on Facebook and Twitter. Share with us a little bit about what goes on SchulmanSays.com during some of these big weeks.
Well, very little, actually.
Oh, really?
Because
Okay, so
I'm
that's
out
when nothing gets done.
experiencing
Right,
the big
yes.
weeks.
After.
But the week following these
Gotcha.
weeks is slammed. For instance, right now was a very busy week. So over the past week, I wrote about the One Drop Gala, Elton John's birthday party that I was at last Friday night. That also served as the grand opening party for Fizz, the new champagne lounge.
How was that?
Wonderful. Fizz opened just before the new year.
Yeah.
David Furnish, who is Elton John's husband, is the creative director.
Wow.
And it was designed so that Elton would have a place to entertain his friends who came to see his show. His show is back, the $1 Million Piano at the Coliseum. And there's a back entrance to Fizz that lets out right near the back entrance to the green room at the Coliseum. So Elton walks over. The first thing you encounter is a huge light-up vanity that I've dubbed the fluffing station. And then you go into the venue, which was designed by Todd Lenahan here in town. And, yeah, hi. Thanks for coming.
Nice. That was great.
Thanks for coming.
That was great.
I'm here all week. Tip your waitress. So then you walk in. It was all designed by Todd Lenahan, who is arguably one of the best designers in the country and is based here locally. And it is filled with about 51 images from Elton John and David Furnish's collection of photography, which is considered the most extensive in the world.
Wow.
And Elton actually has warehouses in Peachtree City outside of Atlanta that are just crates and crates of photography.
I had no idea about that. Do they really?
Yep. A painted photograph I took of Elton during his Red Piano show.
No kidding.
That was my 45th birthday present to David.
Well, the Red Piano show that was out here also at the Coliseum was one of the most spectacular things that I think I've seen. And I caught him on one of the nights where he wasn't frustrated and leaving the stage after 5 minutes. But, it was really one of the best shows. I mean, his work, even as he has gotten older, has seemed to have gained more depth. I mean, his piano playing especially seems to reach new heights.
There are a lot of things to that, and I've actually come up with theories about this. First of all, Elton is a happy married father now.
Right.
He's a different guy. Also, and he's very happy. And he should be. He's one of the wealthiest musicians in the world.
High taxes in England, though. I don't
worth
like
like
that.
$250 million. More power to him.
I'm happy for him.
So I'm delighted for him. If he's happy, I'm hilarious. However, another thing is that one of the reasons I enjoy the new show more, the original show was done by David LaChapelle, who's amazing. And Elton's songs are so ingrained in the lexicon of our brains and in popular culture. I think part of what happened is Elton got lost in the show. So everyone was focusing on these incredible movies done by David LaChapelle, and Elton was like a little guy at a piano on the corner of the stage. Elton is nobody's second banana, certainly not to himself. So with the $1 Million Piano, there is no mistaking that it's all Elton all the time, with tributes to Elizabeth Taylor and people that were his friends. But it's the Elton John show, and make no mistake about it. So I think it's a better show for that.
You know, Dave, I actually saw that show when it opened up. It was a media night or whatever.
Which one?
I don't know. It was a piano.
The one or the original?
I know. Let me explain it just real quick, and you'll get it. Because the thing that threw me was there was a lot of nudity in the show.
The original.
There was a lot of women's breasts, and I was like,
legs
that threw me off. I was thinking Elton John and women's breasts I didn't think that went hand in glove, but apparently it did too. So that was by that guy you were just talking about.
David LaChapelle.
Oh, so he's a little bit more eccentric, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, now it makes more sense.
And
it
apparently
makes sense
David LaChapelle likes women.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
he loves
he
boobs.
adores women.
Okay, but just
but
not
he's a
like
gay
that.
man.
Okay, gotcha. So, women might like him. He just might not like him back the same way. Okay.
Actually,
it was a great show.
One of his photos hangs in Fizz upstairs, a photo of Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee.
Wow.
And they're naked, of course, as David is
I would
going
hope
to do,
so. Yeah.
with like nursemaids and infants crawling around.
Yeah, nothing you need to set the bar right is to see a naked picture of Tommy Lee and think, yeah, all right, thanks for that, Tommy
Right.
Lee. Appreciate it.
Family living.
Exactly.
Vegas is for families.
But let's talk too real quick again. We've got Michael Schulman, SchulmanSays.com here on with us on Pawn Talk.
Yeah, and the latest article on Schulman Says is Elton John's birthday party.
Okay.
Well, don't we have something also to congratulate you? Didn't you hit a milestone likes or 200,000.
Oh, 200,000 likes on Facebook.
Wow. Hi-oh. Does that mean that you actually have 200,000 friends, or is your
I am
your
huge
campaign?
in Pakistan and
really?
Indonesia. I don't know what it is. I'm huge in Islamabad. You wouldn't think it, chubby gay Jewish guy, but hey.
Well, we love you here.
Hey,
that's right in the wheelhouse of Islamabad.
I was going to say,
really
just stay with us here in town and do the Facebook thing, okay? We'll keep you insulated. All right, guys, we're going to step aside, take another look at traffic here on Pawn Talk Live. When we come back, another special guest, Laura from Pawn Talk Live in Espanol, going to be joining Chad, Mike, and myself. Stay with us.
Daybreak Vegas, Alan Stock, the KDWN Legal Hour, Boomer's Brain Trust, Phil's Gang, The Source, Live Las Vegas, Pawn Talk Live, Jerry Doyle, Ask the Experts, Sports X Radio, News Talk 720 KDWN, where locals come to talk. Jerry Doyle, your 6'3" ATM of information. Weekdays 3 to 6 on News Talk 720 KDWN, where locals come to talk. It's news, traffic, and weather for Vegas. News Talk 720 KDWN, Las Vegas, a Beasley Broadcast Group station.
AP Update, I'm Ross Simpson. The commander at Fort Hood, Texas, and the chief of public affairs for the Army's Criminal Investigation Command have told a news conference that investigators now think Wednesday's deadly shooting on post was due to a fight with two soldiers and not due to the shooter's mental health problems.
His underlying medical conditions, we do not believe, are the direct precipitating factor to the incident.
We do have credible information he was involved in a verbal altercation with soldiers from his unit just prior to him allegedly opening fire.
The father of Army Specialist Ivan Lopez, who lives in Puerto Rico, says his son was raised as a peaceful person. He says he and his family are now unable to understand how his son fired on fellow soldiers. The father says he's shocked and called for prayers for the dead and the wounded. AP Update, I'm Ross Simpson.
The news brought to you by Arby's. It's back. Arby's Mix and Match. 2 sandwiches for just $5.50. Choose from the Beef and Cheddar Classic, the Roast Beef Classic, or the Fish Sandwich. 2 for $5.50. Limited time offer at participating Arby's.
It's 2:32 on the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center. No incidents on area freeways. You are just a little slow, a little past the Spaghetti Bowl on Interstate 15 southbound. Also, we do have crashes, Buffalo at Cheyenne, Rainbow at Vegas Drive, Tropicana at Las Vegas Boulevard. And remember, sidewalk work, median improvements in traffic signal installation is affecting Decatur. That's between US 95 and Lake Mead. The work is scheduled during the week from 6 a.m. until 4 p.m. Do expect delays on Decatur between Charleston and Meadows Lane due to median island improvements. For the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
You hear a lot of talk about gold these days. What, with the stock market and more upheaval than tumbleweeds in a tornado? The world-famous Max Pawn is your gold spot in Las Vegas. Don't just send your gold into some random TV guy for pennies on the dollars. Go where you can see what your gold is really worth and get guaranteed market rate for your gold, silver, diamonds, and more. Come visit the world-famous Max Pawn in Las Vegas at the northeast corner of Sahara and Jones or online at maxpawnlv.com.
Thank you, Las Vegas, for making One Nevada the #1 bank or credit union in the Review Journal's 2014 Best of Las Vegas poll. To celebrate, we're offering 15-year mortgage loans as low as 2.99%. Apply today at onenevada.org or call 382-4094. One Nevada is open to all Clark County and Pahrump residents. Federally insured by the NCUA Equal Opportunity Lender.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage, $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Termbusters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-569-5440. That's 1-800-569-5440. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Termbusters, 1-800-569-5440, or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-569-5440. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
Now back to Pawn Talk Live with your hosts Michael Mack and Dave Carney.
Nice though, isn't it?
And welcome back to Pawn Talk Live here on News Talk 720 KDWN, streaming worldwide at KDWN.com. Dave Carney, joined by the owner of the world-famous Max Pawn, Michael Mack, our new co-host, Chad Forrester, and in-studio special guest with us is the host of Pawn Talk Live in Espanol, Laura from Max Pawn. How you doing, hon?
I'm good, thank you.
Great to have you on the program here with us. Now, you're the host of Pawn Talk Live in Espanol every Wednesday now, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, we really try to connect with the Hispanic community, and we try to be their direct line, informing them of gold, how gold is right now, what we sell in our store, and as well as advise them if they need any, if they're looking for cash or if they're looking to, upgrade a purse or anything like that. If they have stuff that they are looking to sell, we're just trying to be informative for them and be there for the Hispanic community as well.
You know, Dave, I look at them as a mirror image of what we do here at Pawn Talk Live. And and we're really trying to, and that's one of the reasons why Laura's here, is we want Pawn Talk Live Espanol to really seem very much the same, because we have a great following here, and they're growing. They moved to a new time at 9 a.m.
Yep.
And Laura's just a great example of good customer service. She's our #1 salesperson at Max Pawn for 2 months in a row. And you can feel it, their sincerity and honesty. And not only are they there to tell what Max Pawn does, but the pawn industry, like we do here on Pawn Talk Live. We're very fortunate here in Southern Nevada, and I say it over and over again, that we have the best pawn stores in America. We also have some of the best gold and buy and sell stores.
That's right.
One of the best stores really happens to be right there in Henderson, Las Vegas Jewelry and Coin Buyers. John and Alicia out there, honest, dependable, good people.
Man,
so
fantastic.
We're fortunate to have what we have here in Southern Nevada, and we say it over and over again. Many cities have crooks and people that take advantage. Not here in Southern Nevada, but we give the diamond report, we give the gold report. We try to talk about firearms, firearm safety, electronics, the treasures. People can call in, they can find out what values are. So we're excited about Pawn Talk Espanol and what Laura does with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Laura, let me ask you, obviously being the only Spanish-speaking member of our crew on air with us today, and the culture so much better and the people, do you feel that the Hispanic community was being a bit underserved on talk radio, and especially in educational type programs like Pawn Talk Live in Espanol?
I definitely think so regarding the pawn industry, just because there's no other show closely, even in the same hemisphere of
absolutely,
what we talk about. And, sometimes we get to talk about the firearms and how, we could protect the Hispanic community with that, because they want sincerity. They want honesty, and they really do get it with us. And we try to tie in also what's going on with the community, and also special deals. Like, who doesn't want a good deal? So we try to tie in everything that we possibly can, just to be helpful and informative.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys also give away great prizes on Pawn Talk Live in Espanol, just like we do here on Pawn Talk, the regular version, okay? And we're going to give away a pair of tickets to Raiding the Rock Vault. Now, guys, we gave away a pair of tickets to Raiding the Rock Vault during Live Las Vegas. We're giving another pair away right now. This is a fantastic show at the LVH. It really does have some of the best musicians from some of the top bands over the last 25, 35 years performing hits that you know. And the number to reach us here in studio, 257-5396. 257-5396. The next caller is going to win a pair of tickets to Raiding the Rock Vault at the LVH. Now, this is really cool because, Michael, as opposed to the 51s tickets, which are already spoken for, we had Joe and Eric as our two winners today of 2 pairs of tickets to the 51s game tonight. This ticket can be used to any of the shows at Raiding the Rock Vault through May 31st, 2014. So you've got, over a month to get down there, use these tickets. It can work within your schedule. 257-5396.
We want to hear some cool antiques. What do you have at home? What kind of interesting item you may have? We want to hear about it right here live on Pawn Talk Live. So call in. We are giving away prizes. I'll give away more prizes. I know we have some treasure chest items at Max Pawn to give away. So any item that you call in, we're going to give away a treasure chest prize.
That's right. 257-5396 is the number, 257-KDWN. And with that being said, Michael, let's do this. Let's jump in to our collector's corner here and start talking about some of these things.
Ever wondered what your treasures are worth? Find out now on the Collector's Corner.
All right, here we are inside the Collector's Corner. And again, like Michael mentioned, the prize vault is wide open. We've got a pair of tickets to Raiding the Rock Vault, and we have got a stuffed treasure chest down at Max Pawn. Now, the treasure chest gets stuffed every single week by not only, Michael, your staff down there at Max Pawn, but by the good folks here at Beasley Broadcasting who are bringing us down DVD prize packages, CD prize packages, a lot of the top artists in country and some of the, the hot bands we've got CDs to, and we've got a lot of great DVDs, plus these tickets to Raiding the Rock Vault. So good stuff here on Pawn Talk Live, 257-5396. Now, Michael, when we look at the Collector's Corner and we want to hear from folks with stories about things that they've had, things that they might be looking for, or things that, they're trying to get rid of, you look at some of the stuff that you saw this last weekend at the Great Estate Buyers Roadshow, you must have been blown away.
Well, I'll tell you what, we talk about underserved community, as we did with Laura about the Hispanic community. The community is underserved, Dave. A lot of people are not feeling good about going to a buy and sell or a pawn shop and getting out of their car. Maybe it's humiliating to them, but this really was a piece of dignity where people could go into a casino with their items, meet with private evaluators, estimators, appraisers, get free estimates with no obligation. We had a lot of people that just came in to find out what their stuff was worth. A lot of listeners from our show, a lot of listeners from our other shows too as well that are served in the same manner. So it really was a great event. We bought a lot of great items. We helped out a lot of people, and we're looking forward to having another event this August.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. The fall event you mentioned in August is going to be bigger, better than the first one was. But I went down there. I saw what you guys were doing, and they were bringing stuff through the door. And, I mean, Chad, if you would have seen it, you would have been a big fan, too, because I know you like rare historical items. Something like your exercise bike, which I heard was a rare historical item now.
Well, it looks like one because it doesn't get used and is covered in cobwebs and dust, but it's only like 2 years old. It's one of these things where...
It's a newer one, right?
It was a purchase that had good intentions, but let's be honest, it fell short. And I want to get rid of this thing. It's a Schwinn. It's got all the, it's got the buttons and whatnot and tracks how fast you're going and how far you go and all that kind of stuff. I think I paid, $300 for it. How much can I get for that, Michael?
Well, I'll tell you, exercise equipment does carry value, and this stuff is expensive when you go to the store, whether you're, going to one of the big fives or whatever sporting goods store. An item like that sold for $300-400. We're probably going to give you anywhere from $80 to $100, and probably sell it for $120 to $130.
I'll take it. $80, I'm in, and I'll get one of those 98-cent DVDs and be set.
And we're not picking it up.
Well, fortunately, Chad's got the zombie apocalypse truck ready to go, okay? So when things start to hit the fan, we're hopping on board the zombie apocalypse truck.
I'll take care of you on the back end.
You're going to have to, man, because I definitely won't be able to do it by myself. You've got the gun vault. He's got the gun vault. I'm SOL. That's what we are. But we do have a winner on the line, and he's got the greatest name ever known to man, David. David, you are the winner of the pair of tickets here to Raiding the Rock Vault. First of all, congratulations on being named David. Second of all, how are you, buddy?
How am I? I'm excellent.
Well, fantastic. Thanks so much for calling into the show here. You do have a pair of tickets to Raiding the Rock Vault. You can go anytime between now and May 31st. But I have to ask you, David, is this your first time listening to the show, or are you a regular?
I guess I'm a regular. I hop in the car at 2 o'clock. And you happen to be on the radio.
Well, I have to ask you, David, of course, I'm a fan of David since David's my partner on the radio, but have you ever been in a pawn shop, or have you ever been to Max Pawn, and really what kind of experiences have you had?
I've been in your pawn shop out there. I believe it's Sahara and Jones.
And did you have a good experience? I hope you did.
Absolutely. The people were wonderful there.
Well, good, and we really appreciate hearing that. That's the ultimate compliment in our business is positive feedback. We ask for it on Yelp. We ask for it on Google all the time. But hearing it live on the radio is really, I really appreciate that good word. Have you been to other stores?
I've been to a few of them. I'm from Detroit, so I've been to a few in Detroit.
Well, I was just back in Detroit, I think maybe a month ago, right, Dave?
Yep.
And I was back with our good friends, the Golds, at American Jewelry and Loan, and the famous one from Hardcore Pawn, and a whole different animal out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, much different game. Well, David, we've got to step aside, take our next look at traffic here on Pawn Talk Live, but you have got a pair of tickets to Raiding the Rock Vault. You can go down to Max Pawn at the corner of Sahara and Jones. We'll have them in an envelope for you. Pick them up anytime, Monday through Sunday. We'll be back here on Pawn Talk Live.
It's 2:45 in the K-Don Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center. You're still slow. Interstate 15 southbound past the Spaghetti Bowl. And a bumper-to-bumper there for a little while. 215 westbound, that's at Decatur. Chelsea at Jones, that with injuries. Rainbow and Vegas Drive. And a variety of work is affecting a stretch of Lake Mead between Rancho and Hill Center. That's west of Rampart. Work hours are 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, with the biggest restrictions between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Cheyenne and Timberland Parkway are cone-free alternatives to Lake Mead Boulevard. That work will go through July. For the Kid on Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Hey, great news. Your home's value has probably skyrocketed over the last couple of years. So you can refi for up to 80% of your home's new value without paying for mortgage insurance. Take that stack of cash and pay off all of your non-deductible debt, credit cards, car loans, whatever, and replace them with cheaper mortgage interest, which may be tax deductible. Check with your tax advisor. Make the cash call at 855-875-CASH. And with no cost or obligation, we'll tell you what your home's current value looks like and figure out how to cut your monthly nut while cutting your interest rates too. So take 5 minutes and call us at 855-875-CASH and take advantage of our fixed rates as low as 3.5% rate in APR with no closing costs. None. The sooner you call, the sooner you could cut your total monthly payments.
Cash Call Inc. Equal Housing Lender. Not licensed in all states. Call 866-900-8744 for terms, restrictions, and licensing. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 38512.
That's 855-875-CASH. 855-875-CASH. 855-875-CASH.
Don't miss a second of this year's Clark County Fair and Rodeo, April 10th through the 13th. A Carnival Midway and acres of family fun for everyone. Log on to ccfair.com or call 1-888-876-FAIR.
When you're in a car wreck, it seems like the whole world is crashing down all around you. When this happens, you need someone who can help put the pieces of your life back together again. I'm Glenn Lerner. In my office, we deal with car wrecks every day. I have a team of professionals ready to work on your case the moment you call. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all, to 877-1500. I'm attorney Glenn Lerner.
Glenn Lerner is the way to go. Call 877-1500.
Come join the Avenge Software Trading Group on Sundays at 1 p.m. We're beating the Wall Street Fat Cats at their own game. Tested and proven over 7 years, this technology was only available to the 1%. Now it's available to the rest of us. For more information, call us at 702-832-1100 or go to AvengeSoftware.com. Again, that's 702-832-1100 or go to AvengeSoftware.com and listen Sundays at 1 p.m. for Avenging the 99% right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Hey, Las Vegas, it's Al.B. Shore and the voice of the Las Vegas Wranglers, Dave Carney. Join us for the best that Las Vegas has to offer. Entertainment, sports, dining, and nightlife. Live in Las Vegas. Tune in every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Now back to Pawn Talk Live with your hosts Michael Mack and Dave Carney.
And welcome back to Pawn Talk Live here on News Talk 720 KDWN. Dave Carney joined by Michael Mack, owner of the world-famous Max Pawn, Chad Forster, our new co-host, and Laura, the host of Pawn Talk Live and Espanol, Wednesday mornings, 9 a.m. on 1340 KRLV. Great to have you with us, Laura. We've got a couple of phone calls here, guys. The lines were heating up here while we were on break, and we do have prizes still to give away. Our next callers are all going to be prize winners. They can choose from either Raiding the Rock Vault tickets or prizes from the Max Pawn Treasure Chest. We've got Bob on the line with us. Now, Bob, it looks like you've got bracelets from 200 BC. Is that true?
I think he just dropped.
Was that Bob dropping? I was hoping that was
all the way back to 200 BC.
He was on the line for a long time.
You know what?
200 BC.
I think Bob's coming back on the line here. I think we've got Bob now here. Bob, do we have you? All right, we're going to go to line 2 here. Do we have Bob? Is this Bob?
Yes, I hope so.
Oh, Bob, it is you. Great to hear from you. Sorry, we were just going through a little call screen action here. Bob, bracelets from 200 BC. Do tell all about them, please.
Well, they're actually 2000 BC.
2000 BC.
Yeah, they come out of the tombs of the Indus Valley in northern Afghanistan.
Wow. So let me ask, Bob, how did you find these, and how did you get to history?
Well, they were actually sold via the military. The local people, after we come through and blew up their sheep and cows and stuff, and they didn't have a way to make a living, they went back to the tombs and raided them and then brought them back and sold them to the soldiers.
Wow.
Is this part of the Wilma Flintstone collection? I was curious.
I think so.
Okay, because she had some really nice rocks around. I don't know if you guys remember. So I would imagine their bracelets are probably pretty nice as well.
Big.
Yeah.
So, Bob, tell us a little bit more about the items, though. I mean, obviously, we're talking something 2000 BC, so, nearly 4,000 years old. I mean, what kind of condition are these in?
They're actually quite good condition. They're bronze. Have both. They were distinguished slave bracelets by fluted ends and master bracelets by tapered ends, and I have both. Generally, they're a braided bronze or a solid bronze with carvings.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a very interesting call. We get a lot of great calls on Talk Live. This happens to be one of our top ones I've heard in some time. When you hear of items of that type of historical value, that's a rarity. And we have specialists. I can't say that I'm honestly the specialist for something like that, but
Sure.
I will call a specialist in. If you come on down to Max Pond, come in and meet me personally. I'll set up a time that we can both of us meet with one of these experts. You could have
That would be great.
quite a piece with some value, or if you don't want to sell, we can get the appraisal for you for your future.
I would like to sell. It's called Max Pond.
Max Pond. We're on the northeast corner of Sahara and Jones. We're open every day, 9 to 8 p.m. And my name's Michael Mack, and just ask for me. I'm usually there during the week.
Yeah, and
Well,
Bob. Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say, if you're familiar with the Madman Army Supply Store and you've ever seen that around town, that's where Max Pawn is in now. They've taken over that building.
Okay, well, I'm calling from Arizona. So
there you go.
I will call on the phone and then talk with you and set up a time that I can
and
come up and make sure
what
you're
I
in.
ask you to do is I'm going to call me. I'll give you my cell phone off air, and you can text me some photos, and we can do some homework prior to you maybe sending the items or coming up and seeing us.
That'd be great.
Wow, Bob, I tell you what, this is exactly the kind of phone call here that we look for. Michael and I do strive to get collectors all across the valley and apparently into Arizona.
That's got to be the oldest.
That's awesome.
Is that the oldest thing you've ever heard before,
That's
Michael? I mean,
absolutely the
who do you have on staff to help you with that?
Well-
Cain and Abel, or how do you?
If you want old, I can bring. I have pottery that's 4000 BC as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
It sounds
like you uncovered some treasures along the way, and most importantly, I want to thank you for your service to the United States of America.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you.
Well, I mean, Bob, this is terrific stuff. So, I mean, when you look at things 4,000, 2,000 plus years old, and really the historical ramifications that Michael, mentioned with these items, I'm going to be surprised if a museum doesn't try to buy these things.
The Smithsonian, you might want to call.
Exactly.
That's the type of thing that these are, and so
That would be great.
Hold those coveted close to you and protect them, and make sure when you do travel, wrap them because they are fragile. And I have seen some artifacts, recently from our Antique Roadshow, as well as, Pontoc listeners who bring things that, are looking for estimates.
Yeah, I mean, this, but by far is one of the coolest sets of items. I mean, it sounds like, Bob, you've got a whole treasure chest full of things. And if I were you, I would be thinking, I'd like to spend my retirement in
Arizona.
Do you like it warm, Bob, or do you need a little less humidity? Okay, great. Well, congratulations, my friend.
Let me ask you this, Bob: if we actually found someone and there was a large amount of money, what would you do with it?
With the money?
Yeah.
I would use it. I have some gold mines that I am looking. I need capital to get going, and that's where it would go to. So.
Well, your one.
I love this guy. This is the best call we've had yet. This is great.
I was going to say this one gold mine is going to help furnish another gold mine.
And then when you have that gold mine furnishes, what's the end result? What do you want to do? Where do you want to be?
I would like to be an anonymous donor. I would like to do some good things, but not
nice.
have my name known.
Philanthropist.
There you go.
This is the kind of guy we like.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the kind of call we like. Thanks so much, Bob, for joining us today on Pawn Talk Live. And I know that you're going to become a regular listener of us now. We're on every single Friday, 2 to 3, right here on KDWN.com if you're listening online. And, of course, 720 on the AM dial. So great stuff. Reach out to Michael. Max Pawn is the name of the store. Real easy to get a hold of. And be sure to get in touch with him.
I will do so. I appreciate your help.
Excellent. No, this is fantastic. Great call
He
here.
kind of buried the lead, though. 2,000-year-old bracelet, 4,000-year-old pottery. Lead with the pottery.
And then he's going to pull a few natural gold nuggets out of the ground.
This guy's amazing.
He is amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's exactly the kind of phone call that you hope to get when we do these shows. And listen, I don't want anybody to be intimidated, however, by Bob's 4,000-year-old pottery.
Good point, yeah.
I want everybody to call because, hey, listen, Michael, and we've talked about this for years now, whether or not you go garage sailing on the weekends, if you visit swap meets around town, if you go thrift storing, maybe you like to just go shopping at pawn stores, and you can find some really cool stuff. If you want to know what any of that is worth, we've got an expert pawnbroker here, Michael Mack, and, of course, Laura, an up-and-coming expert pawnbroker.
Well, with the resurgence of storage wars and auction shows, we're seeing more and more, and we offer that service for free. Come on down. If you found something you don't know the value, there's no obligation to sell, and we're more than happy. You know what's interesting, Dave? Bob was calling from Arizona. There's a high likelihood he was listening to us on the internet. Now, you can go to our new website, pawntalklive.com, and listen to us live wherever you are in the country. And I have to give you a big shout out, Dave, because you've done a wonderful job, but I have to give you a shout out for another reason. We are one of the best listened shows on KDWN's dial. And the recent ratings came out, and you've put together a good show. We got Chad here now joining us, Laura helping us with this. And most importantly, I want to thank the listeners because we wouldn't be here without you. You guys listen to us. Our average listen is phenomenal. And of course, we have to thank all those people at Beasley Broadcast because this is the best place to have a radio show.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Beasley Broadcasting been nothing but good to us. But like you mentioned, Michael, I mean, the listeners. It's really all about the listeners. And we just hope that, by adding Chad in here to the mix, this is just going to continue to create a real value to the folks here in Las Vegas. And Laura, you mentioned that too. We're striving to create value for people. It's not just an entertainment program or a news program, but we want to help folks out. And that's especially what you and Michael are all about.
Yeah, exactly. Value, information, and just overall just being there for any question. We have so many employees and myself. We can do research on whatever, whatever item or whatever question you might have. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Would you have melted down if the guy would have came in with 4,000-year-old pottery and no one else was in the building and he's like, you'd have been like, I don't know what to do.
You're in auction overload. You're like, wait a second, I can't take all this now.
Don't go Old Testament on me. I don't know what's going on
I'll tell you
here.
what, with the information age, there's so much available for you, and we can look up anything within a moment.
Well, and really the great thing about Max Pawn here, again, not to go overly advertorial, but about your software, is really a helpful tool in you guys being able to get the quick evaluations. You work with the Bravo software store systems, integrated with the buy-in networks, and it gives you access, Michael, and to pawnbrokers all across the country. It gives you access to experts all across the country. And it really is a separating factor in your pawn shop and all the other pawn shops out there. Bravo Store Systems. I'm going to tell you what, if you're a smart pawnbroker, you should probably get a piece of that software.
Well, I'll tell you, go to the BravoRevolution.com, and if you're real smart, call that gal named Christy. She'll help you out there.
Yeah, that's right. All right, guys, Chad, fantastic having you on today, buddy.
Thank you.
Great show. Laura, you are awesome as always.
Thank
Don't
you.
forget, if you're listening to us now and you also speak Spanish, Wednesday mornings, 9 o'clock with Laura and the crew. Michael, awesome talking to you again.
Great weekend, everyone.
All right, and so Angie, Jim, everybody else here in studio, I'm Dave Carney. We'll see you guys next week at 1 o'clock, live Las Vegas. See you then. Luxury shops in Las Vegas aren't new. What is new, however, is luxury meeting value. At the world-famous Max Pawn, we specialize in marrying the two. With some of the finest selections of watches, designer handbags, sunglasses, and more, the luxury never stops. Every day, new items are added in-store and online. From Gucci and Chanel to Hermes and Louis Vuitton, Max Pawn delivers all the top luxury brands at a fraction of the price. Visit us online at maxpawnlv.com or browse our showroom in Las Vegas. The world-famous Max Pawn, where luxury meets value.
Software Trading Group on Sundays at 1 p.m. We're beating the Wall Street Fat Cats at their own game. Tested and proven over 7 years, this technology was only available to the 1%. Now it's available to the rest of us. For more information, call us at 702-832-1100 or go to avengsoftware.com. Again, that's 702-832-1100 or go to avengsoftware.com and listen Sundays at 1 p.m. for Avenging the 99% right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.
A new day, a new dawn. News Talk 720 KDWN, 50,000 watts.